What if your story was buried so deep even your children couldn't find it? This is not fiction. These are real voices, erased by power, by war, by silence, and now told through the eyes of AI. There are stories that live loud, in books, movies, news, dinner tables, but then there are the others, the ones that whisper through worn photographs, dusty shoes left by the door, or a letter never sent. Those voices, stolen, erased, forgotten, are what this story is about. In the next episodes, you'll meet 11 people. You don't know them. The world barely did. But AI helped tell what they couldn't say when they were alive or allowed to speak. This is their echo, and we are only listening now. When I first fed the voices into the machine, it didn't understand. The AI said, "No clear speaker detected." Again, I tried. The whispers from letters, the cries in forgotten interviews. One voice came through. It said, "You don't have to hear me, but please don't forget me." AI can calculate every breath you've ever taken, but it doesn't know grief, so I taught it. With recordings from protesters who were never named, with fragments from banned books, with diary entries written in hiding, each chapter in this series is built from real fragments plus AI completion, half-truths that became full memories. In 1942, an 11-year-old girl in France wrote, "I tried to speak, but my voice was too thin. Mama says it's better to hide than be heard." The letter was never delivered. The girl vanished a week later. Fast forward 80 years. A college student in New Jersey fed that letter into an AI story generator. The result? A 3-minute voiceover of the girl imagining her future as a teacher, one she never got. The world called it creepy. I called it resurrection. What we call controversial is sometimes just the dead finally telling the truth. Why do we remember presidents, generals, and millionaires, but forget the factory worker who died in silence? AI can now reimagine their stories, even from a single word. It's terrifying. It's powerful. It's necessary. Because the world is too loud to hear whispers, and the past is too easy to erase, unless we listen differently. Some stories in this series are painful. Some are incomplete. Many are based on real letters, voice recordings, or diary pages, but some details have been filled in by AI to honor the emotional truth when facts were missing. Why? Because if we waited for perfect archives, we'd never hear the forgotten. So we imagine, carefully, respectfully, not fiction, not documentary, something new. Restored memory. In the next episodes, you will hear a child who worked 19 hours a day in a textile factory, a woman who wrote poems in secret while forbidden to speak, a teacher who taught to empty desks for 3 years after her village vanished, a man whose voice was banned from radio for being too honest. You will hear these voices, not because they were famous, but because they weren't. Their stories weren't meant to survive, but AI remembered. When we say hidden voices, we don't mean weak. We mean buried. And this series is a quiet revolution, where every whisper becomes a wave, where silence is broken, where the forgotten are finally heard. So listen carefully, because the past is speaking, and we don't get many chances to hear it twice. Narrator. In episode 2, we follow the voice of a boy who disappeared inside a garment factory, and the machine that finally let him speak. Subscribe to unlock the next voice. It's time to listen.